3 elixir cards are some of the most versatile in Clash Royale, giving you powerful options without a big elixir cost. In this video, I'm going to break down each of these cards to see how they perform on offense, defense, and in synergy with other cards. Stick around because by the end, I'll reveal the ultimate ranking, the best and worst 3 elixir building, spell, and troop. This way, you'll know exactly which cards to pick to dominate the arena and climb the ranks faster. Strong single-target DPS makes it a reliable air support unit, especially effective behind tanks. When paired with heavy hitters, it can add consistent damage. Mega Minion acts as a solid defensive option for taking down both ground and air threats. It performs well against single-target units like Valkyrie or P.E.K.K.A. He complements tanks like Giant and Golem well, adding to their power by handling air and ground troops efficiently. On the other side, Mega Minion can be easily countered by swarms or air-targeting splash units. Great for distracting single-target troops while dealing high damage when left alone. Effective for quick burst damage on towers or high-health units. With high DPS, Skarmy becomes a formidable counter to tanks, mini-tanks like Prince. This card works well in bait decks, and with cards that force out spells from the opponent, like Goblin Barrel. However, Larry's friends are vulnerable to all splash spells like Zap, Log, or Arrows, which can clear the entire swarm instantly. Moderate DPS with a shielded layer, making them a reliable option for chipping damage while resisting single hits. Guards are useful against single-target units, and effective in stopping charges from units like Bandit. Shielded Larry form an amazing synergy with Fisherman. High tower targeting potential, perfect for applying pressure or chipping away at the opponent's tower. Goblin Barrel has a limited defensive value, as it doesn't contribute to stopping enemy pushes. It complements bait decks, especially with cards like Princess or Skeleton Army, to force spell usage. This card has a great burst damage when left unchecked, allowing for consistent chip damage. Unfortunately, they are easily countered by Log or other small spells. Provides dual threat DPS with ground and air coverage, especially effective against unprotected units. A great defensive choice, especially if attacked from both lanes. Goblin Gang works well with bait decks and pressure swarming decks. Be careful when placing the Goblin Gang, as Log or Arrows can clear out the entire gang. Spawns skeletons upon impact, putting immediate pressure on towers and ground units. Skeleton Barrel is limited to offense, with minimal use as a direct defensive card. This card can also be added to the list of cards that works well with Log bait decks. It's a great choice for creating swarm pressure on towers, especially in combination with Clone. On the other side, Skeleton Barrel is fragile and easily countered by splash damage or spells. Exceptional range and rapid attack speed make it a chip damage threat when protected. Dart Goblin is great for controlling swarms and supports units effectively from a distance. He has one of the longest range and fast chip damage in the game. He can take down swarms easily. Nevertheless, this troop is vulnerable to Zap or Log. Another long-range card is the Princess. Her incredible range allows her to hit enemy towers safely, ideal for chipping away from a distance. On defense, she provides splash damage against ground swarms, defending against cards like Minion Horde. The moment my opponent deploys the Princess, I directly know that I'm against a Log bait deck. Regardless of how great this card is, her low HP makes it easy to eliminate with low-cost spell or troop. Nerf Miner, Nerf Miner, Nerf Miner. Miner provides versatile, targeted tower or backline pressure, bypassing other defensive troops. Even though he can take up to 2 P.E.K.K.A. hits, he has limited defensive value. You can use him on defense to stall. Miner works well in almost every deck. However, he has low damage per second and can easily be countered by predictive troop placements. Long-range splash is effective against swarm units, ideal for clearing low HP cards. Firecracker provides good anti-air and anti-swarm utility, supporting ground defenses effectively. She's devastating when paired with Tornado. Overall, Firecracker has a super effective splash damage with a unique knockback, making her a great choice against swarm decks, but the low HP make her hard to protect and keep on the field. primarily a support card, adding control to slow down enemy troops for more powerful units. Ice Wizard is one of the best defensive cards even with low DPS. He works well with Tornado and other splash damage for extended control. Ice Wizard is a key element in the world's most used deck right now, the Lumberloon Freeze deck. One of his weaknesses is the low hit damage means he lacks offensive threat. The invisibility allows him to slip past defenses and hit towers or backline troops with ease. He's also good in defense when used right. Royale Ghost forms a great team with Battle Ram and Bandit. However, he has a low attack speed which makes him weak against swarms. She will steal your golden elixirs, the Bandit. Her dash ability makes her an agile and dangerous bridge pressure card. She has limited defensive use but can stop certain troops like the Mega Knight if timed well. She a great fit for high-pressure decks, allowing for dual-lane threats. On the other side, she's easy to counter with swarms, and her defensive potential is minimal. It's a card and a spell. Royal Delivery has a strong initial impact that can clear out swarms. It's an excellent anti-swarm spell, particularly against cards like Minion Horde or Skeleton Army. This card works well with low-cost cycle decks for consistent anti-swarm control. However, his slow delivery can make timing tricky. High-health troop that puts pressure on towers, especially with support. Rarely used for defense as it grants a large elixir advantage to the opponent upon death. Elixir Golem is unstoppable when paired with support cards like Night Witch and Healer for overwhelming pushes. This card is tricky. It grants elixir on death, making it a risky card. Provides positional control but deals low direct damage. Tornado is an excellent in crowd control, pulling enemy troops together for splash. Pairs perfectly with splash units like Executioner or Baby Dragon. Nevertheless, Tornado spell has limited damage, relying on synergy with other cards. High-risk, high-reward card that can double the offensive potential of your push. When used correctly, it can overwhelm defenses by duplicating troops with immediate damage output, often leading to devastating results if the clone troops are not removed quickly. Clone is not typically used for defense, as it only duplicates troops without adding health or protection. Combines extremely well with swarm cards and high-damage units like Giant Skeleton, Skeleton Barrel, and Lava Hound. Strong burst potential against single-target units due to its phased attacks, making it valuable in pushing with other high-impact troops. On defense, Void Spell acts as an effective tank with decent crowd control, absorbing hits and dealing area damage to surrounding troops. With recent nerf, Void can be predictable and easily countered by professional players. Can pull enemy tanks and high-value targets into unfavorable positions, disrupting the opponent's formation and even triggering your king tower. The Fisherman is extremely useful for repositioning enemy troops, pulling dangerous units away from towers or other defenders. Nevertheless, he's susceptible to swarm units, capable of delivering a powerful charge attack that deals significant damage, making it a solid threat on offense, especially when supported. Little Prince works well against single-target troops, but is primarily an offensive card due to its charge mechanic. He combines well with other charge units like the regular Prince for overwhelming offensive pressure. Knight is a dependable tank with decent damage output, often used as a low-cost frontline unit in pushes. His slow but steady attack allows him to take on moderate threats. He's strong against ground units and can take on glass cannon troops like the Musketeer or Wizard without much support. Knight can soak up hits and distract high-damage troops, protecting your towers effectively. He pairs well with ranged support troops like Archers and Musketeer, creating a balanced push that's hard to counter without spells. However, he can easily be distracted by swarm ground troops if unsupported. Synergizes well with tanky units and siege cards like Expo, helping to defend pushes and cycle quickly. Also works well with spells like Zap to clear smaller units while they target bigger threats. Archers with low health makes them vulnerable to direct damage spells like Arrows or Fireball. Minions are effective at chipping down both ground and air units and structures, adding quick support to any push. They can apply pressure quickly with their high attack speed when ignored. Excellent against single-target troops, minions can quickly destroy tanks like Knight or Mini P.E.K.K.A. when supported by a defensive building or ranged units. They work well with tanks like Giant or Golem, as well as spells like Zap or Freeze, which allow them to get in more hits by stalling or clearing defensive troops. Same as archers, minions are vulnerable to splash damage spells. While not primarily an offensive card, Tombstone can support light pushes by spawning skeletons upon destruction. These skeletons can serve as distractions, swarm low-health targets, or chip away at a tower if left unchecked. Tombstone is a strong defensive structure, ideal for distracting heavy, single-target units like the P.E.K.K.A., Prince, or Mini P.E.K.K.A. The spawned skeletons upon destruction can overwhelm slower attackers and provide additional defensive support. Pairs well with splash damage troops like Baby Dragon, Executioner, or Bowler, as these units can take advantage of the skeletons that slow down the enemy's push. Also synergizes with Tornado, grouping enemies together for maximum damage. However, this card is vulnerable to spells like Log or Earthquake, which can take it out quickly and prevent it from spawning skeletons. Arrows provide quick, efficient damage to a large area, making them excellent for clearing low-health troops. On defense, arrows can swiftly eliminate swarms that threaten your tower. This spell pairs well with high-damage, single-target troops like P.E.K.K.A. or Prince. However, arrows have limited damage against higher-health troops or buildings, making it less effective than Fireball or Lightning in certain situations. As promised, I'm going to reveal the best and worst 3 elixir cards. But on a side note, there isn't a worst card and a best card. It all depends on your deck. Worst card in this list could be the best for your deck. But overall, this rank is based on my opinion, combining offense, defense, and synergy of the card. Here is the list. Feel free to take a screenshot. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss my next video, and to help this channel keep growing for more entertaining and fun videos.